After that, Time takes Gorya to his house. He says to Gorya, "Are you still thinking about Hana?" Gorya says, "I can't believe Hana could do something like this." Then Time asks to apply medicine to her hand, but Gorya, seeing Time's injury, says, "First, I will apply to your hand." Time refuses and says, "I will apply it first." Then Time says, "Because of this incident, I understood how much I love you. You have to be with me always." Time keeps talking, but Gorya has fallen asleep. He looks at her, smiles, and falls asleep sitting right there. In the morning, when Gorya wakes up, Time is not there. Gorya gets scared when the maid arrives. The maid says, "Sir is not here. Get ready quickly." Then she takes Gorya and explains, "Sir didn't know the model of the bike that was burned. He only knew the color, so he brought all the models. You can take whichever one you think is right." Just then, Time calls. He asks, "Have you chosen the bike?" But Gorya was refusing to take the bike. So Time says, "The bike belonged to your friend, so you should keep it." Then Gorya asks, "Where did you go so early in the morning?" Time says, "I went to teach a lesson to all the people who hurt you yesterday." Gorya says, "Don't do anything serious." Time says, "I just told MJ to handle it. You choose a bike and come to school. And if you can't choose, keep all the bikes." On the other side, Hana was leaving with her belongings. Then Gorya comes to her and says, "I heard you were leaving school. Don't you have anything to say to me?" Hana refuses and leaves. Gorya says, "You did not do a good thing at all. I cannot forgive you. I never felt that our friendship was fake. You are leaving without saying anything. I will not let you go." But Hana says nothing and leaves quietly. When Gorya checks her locker, there is a sorry note attached. Time is watching everything from above. Then he announces in front of everyone, "If anyone bothers my girlfriend, it means they have bothered me." Hearing all this, Gorya and everyone else are shocked. Gorya tells Time, "Stop assuming things on your own." Time says, "Yesterday I asked you to be my girlfriend and you said yes." Gorya says, "When did I say that? I don't remember anything." A flashback shows that when Gorya was sleeping, Time had asked her, and Gorya had said yes in her sleep. Then Time says, "We did something else too." The flashback scene shows that they also accidentally kissed. Gorya was quite scared. She asks, "What did you do to me?" Time says, "I didn't do anything, you did." Just then, Ren arrives. Time and Gorya keep looking at him. Ren is also looking at them. Time tells Ren, "Gorya is my girlfriend." Ren says, "I am very happy about that." In the next scene, while the assembly is going on, Gorya tries to start her phone, but it's not turning on. In the middle of the assembly, Time dismisses the teacher and makes an announcement saying, "Gorya, come behind the meeting hall right now." Going outside, Time tells her, "I have called you 83 times. Gorya explains, "My phone is broken." Time brings her a new phone, but Gorya refuses to take it. Now Gorya is absolutely not agreeing. So Time places the phone on the ground and says, "If anyone wants a phone, take it from here." Now Gorya has no option, so she takes the phone. In the next scene, Gorya goes to the rooftop to return Ren's hanky. Gorya says, "You have changed. You have even stopped sketching." Ren says, "My sketchbook is lost somewhere." Then he asks, "How is your date with Time going?" Gorya says, "We are not in a relationship. Time decided this himself." Ren says, "You can date me along with Time. There's no need to tell him." Hearing this, Gorya is shocked. Then Ren laughs and says, "I was just kidding." In the next scene, Gorya is quite tense. When she checks her phone, Time is continuously sending her messages. Cunning asks, "Do you want to go on a date or not?" Gorya says, "If I don't go on the date, Time will bother me even more." So Cunning says, "On Saturday, I am going to the zoo with my boyfriend. You can call Time there too." When Gorya asks Time about this, he refuses. Then she gets a call from Time. Time says, "Ask me lovingly to come." Hearing all this, Gorya gets very angry, but she lovingly says, "Please come." In the next scene, Gorya meets Ren. She asks him, "What happened in France?" Ren says, "She was very happy to see me in France. Thank you for sending me there." Gorya says, "My bus has arrived," and runs away. Her phone falls. On the other side, Ren was painting very angrily. Just then, Time arrives and asks about the kind of dressing people do for dates. Ren starts laughing and then selects a dress for Time. He finds Gorya's phone there. Ren explains, "Gorya came to see me, so her phone fell there." The next day, Time is waiting outside the shop. Gorya comes and tells him, "Don't get angry at all today." While looking at the animals, Tesla tries to get close to Gorya, but Time comes in between. Gorya tries to change Time's mood. Gorya asks Time, "How was your day?" He says, "The day was good without Tesla." Gorya thanks him, and Time says, "I am trying to be a good boyfriend." Gorya says, "When did I say I am your girlfriend?" Time says, "I know we are not a couple. When I become confident, I will ask again." Then they both take a selfie. Time asks Gorya, "Where is your phone?" Gorya says, "Maybe it was left on the bus." Time checks the phone again and asks, "You didn't go to meet anyone?" Gorya says, "No." Then Time goes to the washroom, and on the way, he hears Tesla on the phone saying, "Canning is not my type of girl. Her friend Gorya is very cute." Hearing this, Time angrily starts hitting Tesla. Canning and Gorya arrive. Gorya tells him, "You could have controlled yourself a little." Time says, "Do you know what he said?" Gorya says, "Whatever he said. What was the need to hit him?" Time gets angry and leaves. At school, news breaks that Mira and an actress like each other. Seeing this, Gorya runs off. Ren meets her and says, "After I went to France, I understood something. Mira doesn't like me. She likes someone else." Ren thinks, "I am useless." But Gorya says, "You are not useless, you saved me." Time sees both of them together and is very angry. As soon as he comes down, he gets into a fight with a boy. MJ and Kevin say to each other that when he is in this state, no one can stop him. In a short while, Gorya arrives and stops Time. Time stops, but says to Kevin, "From now on, F4 will only have 3 members." MJ tells Time, "Ren is our friend." Time says, "I don't want friends like that, and you two won't talk to him either," and leaves in anger. Gorya stops him, so Time gives her the phone and asks, "Is there anything left to talk about?" Gorya says to Time, "I lied to you about the phone. If you have to be angry with me. Why are you taking it out on others? What did Ren do after all?" Hearing all this, Time gets even angrier. He starts breaking things. He says, "I won't kick him out of F4. Just say, I hate Ren." He repeatedly says to Gorya, "Say it," but Gorya says nothing. Seeing this, Time gets even angrier. He wants to raise his hand on Gorya, but he doesn't. He says, "I know you will never choose me." In the next scene, we see Tia, who is told by the school director, the parents of the boy Time hit want to file a case against Time. Time's manager comes and says, "We are talking to the other party. If they don't agree, Madam herself will talk." On the other hand, Time is locked in his room. The maid is calling him out to eat, but he doesn't open the door. Just then, his mom breaks down the door and goes inside. She says to Time, "This time you have caused a huge loss. The company has been affected because of spending so much money." Time asks, "Are you worried about me or the company?" His mom asks, "Are you doing all this because of some girl?" Time says, "What are you going to do?" She says, "I haven't done anything yet, so don't force me to do the same things to you that I did to your sister." On the other side, Canning was trying to patch things up with her boyfriend Tesla, but Tesla doesn't reply to her. Meanwhile, Ren takes Gorya out. He tells her, "You were making me quite tense, so I brought you out." After that, they both have a lot of fun and play many games. Gorya says, "Today was a lot of fun." Ren says, "You went on a date with Time too, didn't you?" Gorya says, "Whenever I go with him, some problem or the other occurs." He says, "You seem very happy talking about Time." Ren says, "If you had to choose between me and Time, who would you choose?" Gorya says nothing. She goes to pick up her bag, but her phone falls. While trying to catch the phone, their heads collide. Right there, Gorya also sees Tesla with someone else. She is about to go towards him, but Ren stops her. Tesla's girlfriend is happy to see Kevin. Kevin gives her something she likes and says, "I want to help you with your shopping." But Tesla says, "My girlfriend won't go." But she goes with Kevin. Tesla stops her and says, "If you kiss him, I won't spare you." The girl says, "I'm not afraid of you," and breaks up with him. Tesla comes out and meets Canning. Canning thanks the girl and leaves. He introduces Canning as his girlfriend. Tesla says angrily, "All F4 members like low-class girls. Time also likes Gorya. When I talked to her, he hit me." Hearing all this, Gorya gets very angry. She slaps Tesla hard and says, "So what if I'm poor? You can never be like my boyfriend Time. He is much better than you. Don't say anything about Time again." Hearing this, Ren smiles. Then Ren calls Time. He goes out angrily. MJ asks, "Where are you going?" Time says, "Ren has called me to the school." MJ calls Kevin as well. Now all 4 of them reach the stadium. Time asks Ren, "Why have you called me here?" If you want to talk about Gorya, then he adds, "I'm not interested. I don't want to lose 401 for Gorya. F4 is mine and Gorya is yours." Ren, trying to provoke him, says, "Gorya was never yours. I am the one who likes her. Today I proposed to her and she said yes. Now I am her boyfriend. Gorya is cute, but I don't want to be in a relationship with her. She's only good for a time pass." Now, hearing all this, Time was very angry. They both start fighting. Meanwhile, Gorya is typing a sorry message to Time, but just then she gets a call from Tia. Ren says to Time, "You don't care about Gorya at all, so why are you so angry?" Time says, "Gorya is very important to me. I love her, so don't insult her." Ren laughs and says, "I lied to you. If I didn't do this, you would never have said, 'I love Gorya.'" Then he explains, "Gorya loves you too. She keeps talking about you." Hearing all this, Time becomes very happy. Everyone starts laughing. Now Gorya also arrives there. They tell Gorya that everything is fine. Ren tells her, "Go and talk to Time." Gorya asks, "What should I talk to him about?" Ren says, "At the mall you were shouting, 'Time is your boyfriend.'" Now everyone starts laughing. Time asks Gorya, "Did you say that I am your boyfriend?" so Gorya starts to deny it. Then Gorya applies medicine to Time's wound and says, I'm sorry for the incident with Tesla. She says, you must have been angry with me. Time says, I can never be angry with you. Then he takes her outside the stadium, and sitting there, he says, I was always afraid that I wasn't as strong as my family. I always thought, if I can control the school, I can also control the business. But when I met you, I started to hate myself. You changed me completely. I have decided, from today onwards, I will not fight with anyone, nor will I give anyone a red card. The next morning, when Gorya reaches home, Time's mom is sitting there. Gorya says hello to her and asks, why have you come here? Rosalind says, how do you people live in such a small and dirty house? Gorya says, please get to the point. Rosalind says, you want money. That's why you have trapped my son Time. How much money will you take to leave my son? Gorya says, money is not the solution to everything. Rosalind offers her 15 million, but Gorya refuses. Hearing all this, Gorya's mom gets very angry. She says, you are trying to buy my daughter in my own house? Then Gorya's mom gets so angry that she throws fish sauce on Rosalind. Rosalind says to Gorya, I came to sort everything out with money. No matter how hard you try, you can never be perfect for Time. After Rosalind leaves, Gorya thanks her mom and asks, why have you packed your things? Are you going somewhere? Gorya's dad explains, my company has shut down and I no longer have a job, so we are going to the village. Gorya had not been going to school for many days and was busy with her part-time job. Time tries to contact her, but Gorya doesn't meet him, so he calls Kavan and asks for help. Kavan goes to the flower shop and says to Kaning, Time is unable to contact Gorya. Kaning explains, Gorya's family is facing financial problems. Her mom and dad have gone to the village to work. Then she also adds, Time's mom went to her house and offered Gorya money to leave him. Kavan asks, which company did Gorya's dad work for? In the next scene, we see Time, very angry, arriving at his mom's place. He asks her, how could you do this to Gorya's family? It turns out that Time's mom was behind the shutdown of Gorya's dad's company. His mom says, you have become quite smart, so why are you wasting your time over a girl? Time says, if you don't stop all this, I will help Gorya. His mom asks, how will you help her? Time says, I will do my best. In the next scene, we see Gorya. She is coming home after work. Then she thinks, a thief is behind me. She runs and hides. As soon as she gets home, someone comes behind her again. She slaps him hard. It turns out it was none other than Time. She asks Time, what are you doing here? Time says, I am just going to my house. Gorya says, your house is not here. Time says, I have bought the house opposite yours. Now we are neighbors. She says to Time, why did you buy this house? Have you gone mad? Time says, how can I leave you alone? You two live here alone, and there are robberies happening in this area. If something happens to you, I will regret it for my whole life. Gorya says, if you want to live here, you can. But before taking care of others, learn to take care of yourself first. Time says, I am Time. There is no work that I cannot do. At night, when Gorya falls asleep, Time shouts loudly for help. Gorya immediately rushes there, and Time says, I am trying to wash clothes. Gorya teaches him how to use the washing machine. A little later, Time shouts again. Gorya runs back to him. Time says, what is that moving in front? Go and catch it. Gorya catches the cockroach and starts to throw it on Time. So Time, out of fear, shouts again. In the next scene, Tia calls Time and says, it seems Mom is planning something big, so your birthday party is going to be quite grand. Be a little careful with Gorya. Time says, I don't even know if Gorya will come to my birthday. Tia says, she will definitely come. I have also sent a dress for her. On the other side, Gorya sees Time's birthday invitation, and with it, Tia has sent a lovely dress. Gorya didn't want to go, but her brother convinces her and says, everything will be fine soon. You should go there. The next morning, we see that Time makes breakfast for both of them. Gorya asks him, do you eat cookies? Time says, I eat everything. At school, Gorya is looking up a recipe for cookies. At the same time, she overhears the four of them talking. One of them says, I can't wash clothes, but I have an idea. As soon as Gorya falls asleep, I will go home, get my clothes washed, and come back. Myren says, you are staying there because there are thieves roaming in this area, right? Time says, I have arranged for a security team in this area. I just want to look good in Gorya's eyes. Besides, she is so stupid she won't find out anything. Just then, Gorya arrives. She says, so, tell me how stupid I am. And saying this, she starts hitting him a lot. Coming inside the house, she looks at the dress. Just then, she remembers what Rosalind had said, you can never be perfect for Time. So Gorya takes the dress and goes to Time's house. She says, I have come to return this dress. When Gorya reaches home, Time is there. She asks him, what are you doing here? Gorya's brother explains, Time was making food for you. When everyone looks at the food, the spelling of sorry is written incorrectly on it. Then the three of them eat together. Gorya thinks to herself, there are only 10 seconds left for Time's birthday. She starts counting. Time smiles at her and says, happy birthday to himself. Then they both go inside. As they leave, Time says, if you don't want to come to the party, it's okay. Gorya says, I will definitely come. And don't complain if you don't like my gift. The next day, Gorya bakes cookies for Time. The shape of the cookie is just like Time. After that, she gets ready and arrives at the party. Rosalind says to her, I have told you so many things, yet you still came here. Aren't you ashamed? Gorya says, I came to wish Time a happy birthday, and it's not your job to decide if I am perfect for someone or not. Hearing all this, Rosalind gets very angry. On the other hand, the three F3 boys are listening to all this. They say to Gorya, you are very bold. No one has ever dared to say all this before. Gorya says, I only came to give a gift, and I will leave after giving it. Just then, Time arrives and says to Gorya, you look very cute. Gorya wishes him a happy birthday. Time says, where is my birthday gift? Gorya is hiding her gift and says, I didn't bring anything. Time says, thank you, Mom. Then Rosalind makes an announcement. She says, I want to introduce you all to a guest. Just then, we see a girl running in. She suddenly bumps into Gorya. This girl's name is Lita, and she is about to get engaged to Time. And this is the announcement Rosalind was making. Hearing all this, Time, along with everyone else, is shocked. Time shouts, I will not let this happen. Suddenly, all the security guards come and grab him. Just then, MJ gives him the car keys, and Time runs, grabs Gorya's hand, and gets out of there. It turns out that Gorya was still there, and Time had mistakenly brought Lita. He is shocked to see her. He drags Lita out of the car. Lita says, since you brought me here, you have to be the one to take me back. Time gives her money and says, you can take a taxi. Lita says, you will drop me, but Time refuses. Just then, Lita climbs on his shoulder and pesters him while running. The next day, the news of Time's engagement spreads at school as well. The schoolgirls then start teasing Gorya by showing her photos of Time and Lita. Seeing all this, Gorya gets very angry and goes to the rooftop to shout. Just then, we see a boy there whose name is Talay. On the other side, Lita comes running to Gorya, so Gorya hides her. Gorya tells her, what was the need for you to come here secretly? You could have just said, I am Time's fiancé, and anyone would have let you in. Lita says, I didn't come here to meet Time. I came to meet you. Now, because Gorya's dress was ruined because of Lita, Lita had brought a new dress for her, but Gorya refuses to take it. However, Lita insists a lot, so Gorya keeps the dress. When Gorya comes home and opens the door, Time is sitting right there. Time tells her, I came back to the party, but no one waited for me. No one even gave me a gift. Gorya says, I threw your gift away. Gorya's brother says, your gift is right on top of the fridge. Gorya gives him the gift. Time asks her, did you make this? I don't think it's even edible. Gorya then asks for the gift back. Time says, this is my gift. I won't return it. At that moment, Time sees on the news that, due to the ill health of Thailand's #1 businessman, his company's shares have fallen, and this could cause a very big problem. So Time says goodbye to Gorya and leaves. The next day, Lita comes to Gorya's flower shop. She says to Gorya, let's go out. Gorya says, I am working right now, so I can't go anywhere. Lita says, if someone buys all the flowers in your shop, then you'll go, right? Then Lita buys all the flowers from the flower shop and takes Gorya to the mall. Gorya is shocked to see the price of a bag there. Lita buys that bag and gifts it to Gorya on their way out, but Gorya was refusing to take it. Lita says, if you don't take this, I will leave it right here and go. Just then, Gorya remembers that Time had done the exact same thing when she was not taking his phone. Then Gorya takes Lita to her house. Lita gets very excited seeing the things in Gorya's house because she had never seen a house like that before. She asks Gorya, can I come here again? Gorya says yes. Then she asks Gorya, what exactly is the relationship between you and Time? Gorya explains, Time and I are just friends. The next morning, Lita goes home. Gorya says to Time, Lita is a nice girl. Time hugs her and says, I have to go somewhere for a few days. I can't tell you, so wait for me. Gorya was very worried about Time. Just then, she checks on the internet that the businessman has died. Now this news was known to everyone. On the other hand, Time had returned to his home. The flowers for the businessman's funeral come from Gorya and Conning's shop. Kevin explains, due to his death, the lives of all businessmen are going to change. Time is one of them, and today's ceremony is being hosted by the Parama Group. The ceremony had started. Gorya, looking at Time, thinks to herself, how different our worlds are. Lita is injured, so Time gives her a bandage. Lita says, thank you to him. Then Time says, I need to talk to you about something. Don't say yes to the engagement. Lita asks, can you do anything? Time says, there must be some way. These people are arranging our marriage for business. We don't even love each other. Lita asks him, is love important to you? Time says, you probably don't know, but love is very important to me. After the ceremony, Gorya and Lita were sitting and talking for a long time. Lita explains, I have to get married to Time because of business. She asks Gorya, is love important to you? Gorya says yes. She explains, whatever the reason, we should not marry someone we do not love. Lita says, at first I didn't like Time that much, but now I feel that he is not that bad. Sooner or later, I will fall in love with him. The next morning, when Gorya comes home, Time was sleeping right there, so Gorya wakes him up. Time explains, I snuck out of the house. Gorya asks him, why did you sneak out? Time explains, there is a lot of control at home and I am also being watched, but there is no need to worry. Gorya says, you two look very good together. She is perfect for you. Now hearing all this, Time takes Gorya outside. He asks Gorya, why did you say all that? I told you I would handle everything, just wait a little. Gorya says, waiting will not change anything. Our worlds are very different. If we get out of one problem, another problem will arise. I am tired and this world is right for me. You stay with Lita because she is perfect for you. Time starts shouting at her. I did so much for you, so do I have no value at all? In the meantime, security arrives there to take Time. Time asks Gorya, did you tell them that I am here? Gorya says, you have to go back. On the other hand, Gorya gets a call. As soon as she comes out of the house, Lita is standing there. She reveals, Time came to meet me. In a flashback, we see Time telling Lita, be my girlfriend. Lita says, don't joke around. Time says, I am serious, and then posts on social media that he is in a relationship with Lita. Then he says to Lita, I will try my best to love you. In the present, Gorya also sees this news. She says, congratulations to Lita. Lita hugs her and says, I am happy. In the next scene, Ren comes to Gorya. He asks Gorya, are you thinking about Time? Gorya denies it. Ren asks her, why did you two break up? Gorya says, we were never a couple. Then Gorya asks Ren for help with her studies. Ren asks her, are you okay? Gorya says, I am perfectly fine. If Time can move on, then I can move on too. Ren says, Time is not one of those who move on easily. On the other hand, all the girls are bothering Gorya by talking about Time and Lita. So Gorya runs away from there and hides downstairs. Just then, Talay takes her away from there. Gorya says, what are you doing? Talay says, I am helping you hide. Time got angry with you, so he gave you a red card. But with me here, you don't need to worry. Meanwhile, Ren, Kevin, and MJ are trying to get information about Talay, but they don't find any negative info about him. Then as soon as someone comes, Talay tells Gorya to run from there. But everyone comes and catches Gorya. Ren tries to call Gorya, but her phone is unreachable. Meanwhile, everyone grabs Gorya and takes her to the stadium. Gorya says, don't do anything to Talay, but they punch Gorya, and she faints right there. Now, Ren arrives there. On the other side, Time and Lita are going to the prom night. The girls tell Ren, we tried to help, but these people told us not to. Those boys say, Time gave her the red card. Ren shouts, if anything happens to her, I won't spare you guys. Just then, he gets a call from Kevin. Ren tells him, Gorya got a red card. Kevin asks, who gave it? Ren says, they are all saying it was Time's order. Check the entire school's CCTV. I am taking Gorya to the hospital. Ren picks her up and takes her away. A message appears on the screen. Plan A was successful. Now it's time for Plan B. On the other side, the two of them are checking the CCTV footage, which looks like the video has been edited. MJ says, someone thinks we are fools. Ren puts Gorya in the car. Kevin is about to call him to tell him who gave Gorya the red card when someone comes from behind and hits Ren. Kevin says, Talay gave Gorya the red card, and then cuts the call and says, it's time to execute Plan B.